he drew my attention to something, and I felt that I am obligated to share it with you or to bring it to your notice. What he indicated was that he's quite disappointed in Ghanaians, particularly within this last 4 years and then the first quarter of the MPP's administration, how we have silently accepted that which wasn't accepted during Mohammed's reign. And he's talked about so many things. He spoke about allegations of corruption. He spoke about, the current crisis that we are facing in respect of the erratic nature of our electricity. He spoke about so many things. And, of course, I'm sure you're also aware that armed robbery is springing up strongly. I was told of a story where some men in broad daylight shot and killed an elderly man, I think in Kaso, so, and bolted with his money. So it's coming up. But it appears nobody is talking about it. The media is silent. Nobody's talking about it. Just very few of us are talking about it. And if you talk about it in the extreme, they say, the guy is an NDC man. Yeah, an NDC member. He has an NDC card. That is why he's speaking against government. Question is, how do we progress? How do you know that I'm not even part of RGS political party? Anything that is, well, Adia, you doubt my belonging to the CPP?
Who said it? You are saying it. Did they hear me?
But I think that it is incumbent on us to raise the issues, incumbent on us to bring the issues to the fore, incumbent on us to put a spotlight or to shine a spotlight on the issues. So share with me, why is it that we have become silent over matters which gained our utmost attention when Mahama was in power? I don't want to play the tribalism card. I think it's very warped, because I know many people are playing the tribalism card, which is very warped. It's a very warped logic that, Mahama is from the north, Akufo-Addo is an Akan, so yeah. But I think it's very warped, right? I think it's very, very warped, an argument to espouse. But let me know, why is it different this time around? Good morning.
Morning.
How are we?
We are fine in Tamale. From Tamale.
Yeah, Charlie, Tamale there is my second home.
Yeah, but we also feel since yesterday 8 o'clock off the line.
Oh, so you are in Doom. The song has not come yet.
We are also in Doom.
Yeah, we have to credit you with this. We have to pay you for.
So, yes.
The song has not come, so right now you are in the Doom. Sometimes you have to laugh over some of these things. But what do you think? What do you think is accounting for this? So, all right. But I just want to know from you, why are we quiet as a people about this particular issue? Why are we not speaking up so much?
These people, speaking cannot change them unless we hit the street.
You think so?
Unless we hit the street to demonstrate to the whole world that we are in doom. There is no for doom. The water is too much. The water is too much.
Yeah.
They're suffering.
Yeah. But COVID-19 is around though. How would you achieve the demonstration that you are talking about?
Demonstration, if COVID-19 kills you, it's better than this government killing you.
Pardon?
Yes. You know that form of COVID is better than Nanado killing you. Okay.
So you want us to defy the COVID protocols, hit the streets, and demonstrate our displeasure about what is going on, right?
The protocol. See what is going on.
All right. Let me say thank you to you. I didn't get your name. What's your name, please?
In the protocol.
What's your name? I didn't get your name. Thank you very much. Next caller, please. Well, so yeah, obviously he's not excited about it. He says in Tamale they are in doom. The saw has not come yet, so they are still in the doom. Maybe later in the day they will get the saw, and then everything will be all right for them. Next caller, but I think he mentioned a number of things. You know, the fact that we appear to be, you know, condoning that which was not acceptable during Mohammed's, during Mohammed's regime, and he doesn't understand why. He doesn't understand why. He doesn't understand why we appear to be accepting the practices that, in our estimation at the time, were inimical to the growth of our nation. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I hope you're doing fantastic as well, sir. What's your name? Where are you calling us from?
Yeah, my name is JB, calling from Tamale.
Yes, hey, today my Tamale massives are ready. Yes, sir. What's happening in Tamale? Are you in Doom or you're in Doom, sir?
We are in Waterloo.
You are in what?
We are in Waterloo.
You are in Doom in Tamale.
We are in Waterloo in Tamale.
Ah, you are in Doom and Waterloo day. Hey,
in Waterloo day.
Hey, Master, then you there, you know be Ghanaian be that too.
No, I'm saying we don't have light, we don't have water in Tamale.
I can appreciate that. Yeah, I understand it. And I'm saying as for you, that you are not a Ghanaian, no, you are suffering.
we used to join Togolese.
I'm telling you.
We have our water and our life.
Anyway, but are people complaining? How is it affecting your business? If it hasn't affected your business already, how is it affecting you? How is it affecting your business? How is it affecting the people that you know?
In fact, Kwame, as you all know, they said water is life. So the water issue here, when you come in Tamale, we are carrying cans from, in fact, even the one village, one dam, before you go to the one village, one dam, you will not even get water. Every place is dry. And then the night, in fact, this is a very hot season. From your way to the house, you are hoping that when you get to the house, maybe you rest.
Oh, I think I lost him there. Next caller, 2 more calls, and then I'll come into the studios and speak to Ajay Amdatu, who's already seated, to pick her mind on the current happenings in the country. So, I mean, my people in Tamale appear to be having some challenge. I don't know. Let's see if we can get calls from the other parts of the country. Maybe Volta region, maybe Greater Accra, maybe Ashanti region, maybe Western North, Bono East, Asin, Bono Ahafu, and Central region, maybe from my constituency, Elmina. I would love to hear from all of you this morning. Do you have light? Do you not have light? How is it impacting you? How is it impacting your business? How is it impacting your livelihood, if I can say that?
Pan-Africa.
You are certainly on Pan-African TV, sir. What's your name?
Yeah, I'm Dauda.
Dauda, where are you calling us from, please?
Dauda, I'm from Tamale.
Right. Today, my Tamale people are locked in. Right. Dauda.
Yes, sir.
So what they happen for Tamale? You get light?
I swear God, we are in trouble.
This one, the way you talk, as you make hard yourself, they laugh.
So we are in trouble. Water too no day.
Water no day?
Yeah.
Oh, so water where you go take small self do washing and maybe some cocoa this morning, some no day?
I swear God, we are in trouble. We are in trouble.
Wow.
I swear God.
Since when?
Since last week.
Last week?
There are about 12 days now. For the last 2 weeks, we are in low current. Even fan cannot even turn. I swear God. So and by now they just off it. I swear.
So right now, now we have Ajia has copyrighted the name, but we'll use it regardless.
And even in our dams too, even drinking with cows and this thing.
Hey, where in Tamale? This one there, I want to know where.
I swear God.
Where in Tamale?
Lamashegu Dam.
Lamashegu Dam.
Lamashegu Dam.
Wow. Wow. Okay, we'll get our correspondence to...
the water just become green.
Green! Hey!
I swear.
Proper green.
I swear God. So we are in trouble.
Oh, and you are fasting?
Well, thank you very much.
Hey, this one, they say 2 troubles, 1 God.
So we are in Dumsa and the water problem too.
Beyond the water problem too, the dam too turn green.
Yeah, I swear.
Hey!
So Kwame, please.
Do you know what I will do for you?
So Kwame, we're in trouble.
Do you know what I'll do? Do you know what I'll do? Do you know what I'll do for you?
Yeah.
I'm sure I can get to the Jubilee House and then connect the tap to Tamale for you.
Okay.
Because the president said free water. So I'm wondering why we don't have water. The free water is finished. So the water is finished in the tap. Yeah, move on.
I swear God.
My brother, thank you very much for calling us this morning.
You're welcome.
I mean, I'm laughing, but what can you do? Sometimes you just laugh. You can only laugh to cool you down. Otherwise, if you ball like that, you go get hypertension. And that one too, hypertension, COVID-19, no water, no light. That one there, Charlie. Problem there. Problem there. Problem there. Hadia?
Yes.
Problem there. Or problem no day?
Well, we give thanks and praises to Allah.
Allah. For giving us life.
Yeah, that is it. It's very, very important.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, that is it. You said it all.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. One last caller. Are you there?
Yes, please.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you too?
I'm fine. Oh, are you sure you are fine?
Yes, please. But not all that.
Hey, I know that you're not fine. When I heard your voice now, I knew you are not fine.
In fact, the Dumsa is too much.
This one, is it Doomso or it is Doomso?
In fact, I'm calling from Bulga.
Bulga.
Bulga where?
Where? Is it Bulga Central? Where?
In fact, it's so doom.
Where is Bulga?
Yeah, Bulga Central at the area called Tunamolko.
So you're in Adongo's constituency.
Tunamolko.
You're in Adongo's constituency.
Yes, please.
Okay. But you have water, right? At least you have water. Well, maybe I don't know. I think he was listening to himself whilst speaking to me. Kindly lower the volume on your TV set, and then we can have a very fruitful conversation. Actually, I'm coming to you pretty shortly. Let me just pick a few more calls. Yes. Two more. They will wait. 2 more calls. Yeah, they are. Ambassador Sampiala is not here. Sakasala is not here yet. But Hadia is seated. 2 more calls, and then we will wrap up on this segment. Right, but I'm told in Bulga too, there's no light. I hope they have water. I really do hope they have water, particularly because the fasting started yesterday. Right? Today.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
How are we?
We are doing good.
Oh, this one.
But not good. Not very good.
Hey, but the way your voice is sounding nice this morning, I'm sure you're doing good though.
No. My voice is sounding nice because we are having the hopes of JM coming back.
Hey.
So we try to make ourselves happy all the time.
Absolutely.
We are using that to console ourselves.
Okay. Where are you calling me from and what is your name, please?
I'm calling from Bulga, to be precise.
Yes.
We are actually having life problems here. We don't know whether it's doomed or low current or we don't know what is happening.
Wow.
We don't know what is happening. It's just too bad. It's just too bad.
And there's not been any communication from, ECG in Bulga, explaining why you're experiencing the power cuts?
All what they tell us is they are having technical challenges or what challenges. We don't even know what is happening.
I see. But you have but you have water. You have water, right? Running through your taps?
No, for the past 3 days we've not gotten water.
Which area, please?
It's in the Honorable Atungo's area, no, just behind his house.
Ah, so the MP's area, no, just behind the MP's house. There's no water.
They denied him water.
Hey! Are you sure you're not doing propaganda?
This is not propaganda. This is not propaganda. I'm speaking from Danso, Bulga.
So you're telling me that behind Adongo's house there's no water?
No water.
Hey!
No water. Low current. Nothing is happening.
So
the whole Honorable Adongo para.
Ah! This is sad. Thank you very much.
Our Bulga JM don't have water, no light.
Oh!
No current.
Oh, this one there. I wonder if he's good. I'm not sure he's coming to the constituency now. Thank you very much for calling this one. One last caller, and then we'll come to Aja. Oh, I said 2 more calls, so this is the first one. Then one last call. It's good to also hear from the people, Aja. You need to also hear from the people. How is this? Aja, really? Why would you say that? That's not good. Don't say that, Aja. Aja, you are going for presidential candidate too. CPP.
I'm enjoying.
Hey!
Let's carry on, my brother.
Hey! Hi, good morning. Final caller. What's your name? Where are you calling me from, sir?
My name is Benjamin.
From Tamale?
Yes, please, sir.
Can you confirm or deny what has been said by the previous callers, indicating that you don't have light in Tamale? Is it true or false?
The issue of the light is terrible. The water are worse. And you remember an earlier caller mentioned that there were some dams that are turned green and people are drinking the same water with animals. I can confirm that a lot of dams, not even just one. There are several dams. Maybe he is not aware of the other dams, but a lot of dams are in that condition.
Can I give you an assignment? Can I give you an assignment? Can I give you an assignment? Hello, are you there? Okay, so if you're listening to me, I'd like to give you an assignment. If you can, during the day, if you have a little bit of time, just go to these dams, take a picture of the dams, and send it to the WhatsApp number that is on your screens now. Tomorrow morning, I'll make it a point to project it on the screens for people to confirm what you are saying. I don't want to, conjecture. I don't want us to conjecture because it appears that we don't have any evidence to buttress that which we're claiming. And, evidence is that which supports a fact. So if you are stating a fact, then you must necessarily get an evidence to support it, right? We don't just have to say it. We don't have to just be expressive about it. We need to demonstrate that indeed we have a challenge. So take a picture of the dam that you're referring to and send it to the WhatsApp number that is projected on your screens now. I'm sure we'll be able to project it on the screens, and then Ghanaians will know precisely what you're talking about. Thank you very much for spending your little airtime on the show this morning. I'm super elated about it. Haji Amdatu, thank you very much for granting me that latitude. Ambassador Sampiala is here seated. Good morning to you, sir. I trust you are well. Saka Salia is also here. I've seen him looking all ready and poised to come and fire. Right, Somalia's parliamentary votes to extend president's mandate. Daily Graphic reported that government records 1 billion oil revenue due to strategic mobilization. Economy in debt distress. Economy in debt distress, captured on the front page of the Inside newspaper. Concerted government policies way forward to housing challenges. Asenso Boache. My friend Asenso Boache appears to be doing some magic there. I'm happy about it. If he can confront the housing issues head on, I bet he would succeed. Yeah. I think I like his energy. I mean, he's a very young, energetic, and daring young man who is aspiring to do better for himself and for Ghana. I'm happy about that. Hopefully, he'll be able to bring that to fruition. So these are the topics. We are on Facebook as we speak, facebook.com/Pan-African Television. We are also on Twitter. We are on Instagram. We are on Clubhouse. We are on, where else? Yeah, all the other social media outlets, we are there. Hadia, Somalia. Somalia's parliamentary vote.
Is it Debbie or something? What's his name?
Yeah, I think so. To extend president's mandate. If I may just briefly take your view on that issue. And
yeah,
then,
I think good morning to our cherished viewers out there.
Right.
Good morning to Kwame. And then Ambassador, it's been a while, you know. Yeah, I hope you are doing well. And then my good brother, Ramadan Mubarak. Yeah. I want to take this opportunity. You know, I told you Ramadan, maybe I'll take a leave. But I think it is incumbent on us to also come and then maybe help in reshaping the thinking of people. Because if you leave the waves for only MPP and DC, they might lead us into some arena of
confusion.
Not just confusion.
Abyss.
Today is the first day of Ramadan. I want to wish my Muslim brothers and sisters Ramadan Mubarak. And we hope and pray that this Ramadan will be one of the best in our lifetime. You know, Ramadan is month is a very, should I say, powerful month in the life of a Muslim. Anytime we pray that this Ramadan, may we see more Ramadans. Why? Because there's a month of forgiveness, blessing, and anything that you want. As some people report it, that prosperity is just around the corner. All what you have to do is to stretch your arm. And if you believe, as a pious Muslim, somebody who really believes in the teachings of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you know that Ramadan is not a month for any serious Muslim to joke about. And then, you know, Kwame, some people will say, oh, as for this Ramadan, I'm going to stop doing this, doing that. Even after the Ramadan, it is expected of you to continue the good deeds. So I wish my brothers and sisters Ramadan Mubarak. And you know, Kwame.
Is it the same as Ramadan Kareem?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, first day of Ramadan, I would like to take this opportunity to greet one particular person, even though he's not a Muslim. Do you know why?
Tell me. Yesterday,
my brother mistakenly sent money to one Matthew Akurugu of Sumbrongo, about 2,000 something Ghana cedis. Wow. He said when he went and they gave him the money, he panicked, and the mother told him, hey, don't touch this money. So after talking to him, he said he couldn't return the money because he doesn't know how to assess the distance. So this morning, he was the one I was talking to. He is on his way to return the money. So I promised him that I'll thank him because we have some good people in this country. If somebody should mistakenly send money into your account, it is just better that you do what? Send the money back because it's a mistake. So I could be Matthew, Mpuzo.
But he hasn't returned it yet.
No, he will return it. Hey, he will return it. Do you know why the MTN, they are taking the details of the distance? It's dangerous for you not to return the card. You don't know. So he knows all that. He's an innocent person, and I trust that he will return it. Somalia, you know, Kwame, Africa, it seems we have a problem. Or we have a problem. Should I put it that way? I don't know why some countries have decided that if it is time for their president to exit, they'll go to parliament, bulldoze their way, and then change their constitution. It brings instability. That's Somalia, isn't it? If you know the history of Somalia, it's a troubled region. Farah I did, Hussein I did, and so on and so forth. Now there's some kind of stability in the place. And look at what is going to happen. They are going to extend the, even though I didn't read the story, but even looking at what's, even the headlines is telling us, it's most unfortunate. And we keep on asking ourselves what the AU, when they go, don't they talk to their peers? Maybe what you are doing in your country is not good, or maybe if there's no stability, it affects the whole of Africa. And so, look at even the way people were treated in Somalia in the early 90s. Dead bodies being dragged on the streets of Somalia. Now, it's a long time we've had any skirmishes in Somalia. Are they not happy about that? They want to return to their old days. Maybe somebody is lazy in his boot to take over or to contest. Now you are extending the mandate of the president. To do what? To do what? Can they conduct elections? Is it that they are changing the constitution to allow him to go for more terms, or it's an interim government and they are trying to extend the stay? Confusion, Basa. In fact, I don't understand some of our African leaders. They should give. Are they not tired? If it's 5 years, 5 years, you go and sleep. If it's 4 years, 4 years, like our country, 4 years, if you are voted out and the people like you, they can bring you back. If it's 8 years, you go the 8 years and maybe more than. In fact, I don't understand Africa. It seems the democracy, we just copied, but practicing it is a problem. Or this kind of democracy that we are running in Africa is not good for us. I think we should. Kwame. Right. Let me leave it there.
Thank you, Ajia. Saka.
Yeah, Kwame.
Good morning again.
Good morning.
Somalia.
What happened in there?
That's what Ajia said. We were not listening.
It can only be qualified as a Quran when everything in it is perfect. That is it.
So he believes that everything is.
Oh, okay, then.
But to the MPP, everything is perfect.
No, he call it Quran.
Because you people have said it's perfect.
I mean, we never said so. Some PLA is calling the MPP document Quran. Some PLA.
Ambassador for some PLA. Saka will never change, eh?
Somalia Parliament will extend president mandate. Well, I think that currently how many years do they have as a term? I think 5 years. Yeah. No, two terms.
Two terms, yeah.
Yes, 2 terms. Well, like I just said, I think that
Africa will get problems.
It's been a while since we hear turmoil in Somalia.
Yeah.
Somalia have had a relatively peaceful environment for some time now, and therefore nobody hears of them any longer. And once again, they want to be in the news to be heard.
They want to be popular.
Yeah. they want to trend. But you see, I think that if you look at, I haven't read the story actually, but just looking at the...
No, that's it needs the approval of the upper chambers before becoming a law. Mr. Ram welcomed the passing of the bill in the lower chamber, adding that after 2 years, the Somali people will finally be able to elect their own president. I don't understand.
Yeah.
So it says Somalia's lower house of parliament voted overwhelmingly to extend by 2 years the term of the government of President Majo. The special session saw 149 members of parliament vote in favor of the extension, with only 3 opposed. But within minutes, the upper house of parliament objected, with the speaker saying the move by the lower house is unconstitutional. Either way, there is no sign that Somalia's delayed parliamentary and presidential elections will begin anytime soon.
See?
The polls, originally scheduled to start late last year, never got off the ground because of disputes between political leaders and who would control the electoral process.
The president is on one side, the prime minister is on one side.
Talks to end the impasse ended in deadlock despite pressure from AU, European Union, and other international partners of the Somali government. The Speaker of Parliament, Mohamed Musa, said Monday that lawmakers must take responsibility as representatives of the people to take decisions where the need arises. He said the current state facing the people in the country will not allow the continued political impasse that resulted in the election delay. He said since they represent the interest of the nation, the citizens are awaiting their decision, hence the move to extend 2 years term to plan for ballot elections. This is very preposterous.
So what is it 2-year term?
What they are trying to do,
they are just giving additional 2 years.
Additional 2 years.
So it's not the number of terms that they are increasing.
I'm sure they are saying term because it's multiple years. So more like, okay, well, let's grant him some additional term.
Additional 2 years.
Additional 2 years. But I think they describe it as term. I mean, the same thing. To govern. Whilst they wait to prepare for the proper elections to be held.
Yeah, I think maybe
there has been a problem, and then the term of the president is almost getting to an end, and then maybe there's a lacuna, and therefore they want to extend the stay of the president, and after that then they go into an election. I don't think that there's something wrong with that. I don't think that if that is the case, I don't think that there is something wrong with that. But the problem really is that why did they delay to the extent that there is a need for the extension of the term of the president? It means that they were not forthright, they were not looking forward looking. They were just sleeping until it dawned on them that there is a need for them to extend the period of the president. And if that is the case, why are the president? Why is the president and then the prime minister not? Not singing from the same hymn sheet? Because if there is a problem, I think that there should be a consensus. You don't need to, have your way or have your say, and somebody also have his say, and the lower parliament, the lower chamber has already voted massively, awaiting the upper chamber to approve it. So, supposing, granted that the higher chamber doesn't approve it, what is the problem? Where are they heading to? It means that they are heading to trouble once again. So, these are countries that have gone through, a lot of turmoil in the past, and therefore one would have expected that they will be very proactive, when something like this is on the horizon, because somebody should have foresaw some of these things, but they sat down. Look, I'm happy with what is happening in Rwanda. They have gone through a lot, purging crucible, if you want, and therefore they have been able to ensure that all the things that happened in 1984, when they had that carnage or whatever, the war, would not rear its ugly head, and very proactive, and ensure that they do things in a manner that will kneel to the benefit of the people. But these people, Somalia, I don't know what is happening, and they seem to be synonymous to all that is bad. When it comes to corruption, they are at the bottom of the ladder. When it comes to almost everything, poverty, everything, even how to reason, they are at the bottom end of the league. And I think that is not good enough. Somebody within the Somali community should be able to wake up and say that enough is enough. Let us do things so that we can be part of the community of nations that are revered. So I don't have much to say about this. Maybe Ambassador Zampiali, who is an ambassador, and I'm sure he has been to Somalia, can give us insight into what is happening there.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Saka Salia.
Thank you for assigning yourself the duty of a host.
Thank you, Saka Salia. Ambassador, it's interesting where Saka came from. That it's okay. It must be. If the extension is going to help them do the right thing, then it must be accepted. Blah blah blah. All those things. I don't know what your position is on that.
Well, in the first place, let me join Hadia and all true Muslims to celebrate this wonderful occasion. And I'm told that this is the period our Muslim brothers go into healing themselves. And
spiritual healing,
and also physical healing. It's my belief that after that, you see, it should not be every day Christmas. We celebrate the Christmas, and after that, nothing happens.
Yes.
I hope and I know that things will change in the lives of our Muslim, especially the youth. The youth to walk the path of His Eminence, the founder of the religion. On that note, I wish to say Eid Mubarak to my very good friend Alaji Haruna, Ramadan, Alaji Haruna of the the research director of NDC, and also Harinata, your own uncle, Harinata. The issue of Somalia is it's a hydra-headed problem. And like the elephant, if you don't take care, you hold a leg and say you're holding the whole of the elephant. If you hold the ear, you say you're holding the whole of the elephant. Because of their geographical location, Somalia is a very important piece of land for the whole world. Somalia. It has a very small population. And the question is, why is it that that small population, with that hub of harbors, harbor around it, no ship can go around Africa without passing through Somalia? There is no, they have been engaged in piracy and other things.
Yeah.
The question is, why is it that in the words of Somalia is always mentioned in the bad light? Why is that so? Is it the people's own making, or it's a creation of international forces that seek to create that destabilized country? And for what purpose? If you go inside, deep it, you will see that even the pirates had their lords in Europe. The pirates, their warlords, the people who sponsored the piracy were in Europe.
Can you imagine?
Now, what they are presenting to us, as we are officially saying that it's just an election issue. I want to look at it in two phases. We have Putin in Russia. How many years has he been a president?
He's been there for, I think it's not his second term.
About 24 years.
Putin?
Yeah. Look at Angela Merkel of Germany. He spent 18 years.
18
years.
Yeah.
If it was an African head of state, what would he have said?
Vladimir Putin. Okay. Really?
No, he was a prime minister, then changed to prime minister.
Yes. So that's why I'm a little confused. But yeah.
So
you mean when you mean Putin?
Yeah.
Vladimir.
Yeah.
No.
Even the president, he brought the president himself, and then.
Yeah.
So why is it that the world doesn't talk about Germany and Russia and their officers, prime ministers and presidents in office? Why is it that the world doesn't talk about Sassou Nguesso? Why is it that they don't talk about them? I ain't full of my argument. In other countries, because the presidency serves as puppets to them, they are able to tolerate it.
Yes, that one is true.
Okay, but come to Libya, they are not able to tolerate it. Come to Africa, they are not able to, other parts of the world, they are not able to tolerate it. So that's where I have my beef. As to why they stayed over and did not plan for the election is another situation that we have to be evaluated. But if you are a government and you are serious in ensuring proper democracy, you look at the electoral commission and have a timetable that by this time we should do this and that. But you don't sit there until your time of office is expired, then you're asking for 2 extra years. Haji has asked a very profound question, whether we are practicing democracy as it ought to be. African countries, especially my own country, we are now bottling democracy into one bottle of elections, and after the elections, anything can happen. Anything can happen. And it has become obvious that in some countries, they are not able to contain the tension, and therefore, many civil wars have erupted because of presidential elections. And we better be careful. We better be careful. Just right at Côte d'Ivoire, they have gone through theirs. Senegal, Gambia, Togo. We are the only oasis in the West African sub-region that has not seen that. And it's something that we have to look at. I believe that looking at what goes on into elections, the number of people that are killed, the confusion that erupts, and the amount of money, especially in the case of Ghana, that we spend.
Too much.
I am beginning to agree with President Kufuor, who said that we should put in our constitution that every president should have 7 years,
One term.
one term. 7-year, one term. What you lose is just 1 year. But you will find out that we are in April, isn't it? The president in his second term has not settled. Yeah. Deputy ministers have not been appointed. Boards have not been appointed. And so many things have not been completed. So the first year, actually nothing happens, even when the president is in second term. All right? So if you're a serious party wishing to win elections, you should have done your cabinet appointment and everything in there. Because after it takes your party people to approve them. After parliament, it's just the vetting. But
so internally, you could
do all your things internally. So that as soon as you win power, you hit the ground running. You know, and you know that you have only one term. So if there's any achievement to be made, you do it within the 1 year. Can you see, you are a good journalist. If you like, quantify our elections every 4 years. The billboards, the whatever, you know, now people are buying televisions, deep freezers, all those. Bicycles, all those.
Tricycles.
And some people say that to become a member of parliament, you need no less than 400,000 Ghana cedis. It's about 400 million, isn't it? Old cities, billion. So where do they get these monies?
Matao.
I'm raising this issue because, see, when somebody's beard is burning, you put water around yours. I agree with President Kufuor that we should take a look at the 2-term changeover, because it's not helping us. It's rather demolishing our stature as a democratic country. Look at the number of people that are killed in the elections. Look at the amount of money EC spends every year. The previous register is not good. You know, the IT is not good. So if we would pause and look at our situation and say, look, let's put in the constitution. First and foremost, we must have a national development agenda. I think you understand. Kwame Nkrumah had a development agenda. It's like the GES syllabus. It gives it to every school. Your past depends on how the teachers use it to teach. You understand? So if you give, Ghana say that, look, within 20 years, we should put Ghanaians on the moon. We should, within 20 years, we should tar all our roads. Within 20 years, we should, these are measurable achievements. Put it in the constitution or the development. Timelines are in there. So you come and tell us that, look, instead of importing the cement, I would manufacture the cement in Ghana. That's your strategy, isn't it? Another will say, oh, I will not import the cement, but I will bring in the experts. You see what I'm saying? So we need, as an African country, developing country, check on what we do. And I believe that following what is happening in Somalia, and if it's not managed properly, knowing the area, it will escalate. Yeah.
Thank you, Ambassador Sampia.
You see, Uncle Sampia raised an issue about what the then President Kufuor said. The other day we were discussing it here. The 4-year term, is it helping us? Because we use a whole year to prepare, and then the last year of the tenure of office of the person to be preparing for campaign. That's why I'm asking, this type of democracy, is it helping us? Look at the amount of money, even primaries in the various political parties. It can build a whole new township to accommodate the people who are sleeping outside in this country. I think, that's why when the then Professor Mills, may he so rest in peace, when he brought about this Constitutional Review Commission, I don't know where the document is. I don't know where the document is. I think this our constitution of lived is, listen, it's not fit for purpose as we sit here. Now, the 1992 constitution must be looked at and changed, overhauled completely. That will suit our modern day trend and see how best we can move as a nation. I think that's what I can say.
Thank you very much. We are streaming live on our Facebook page, Pan African Television. We are on Instagram, Pan African TV. We're on Twitter, Pan African TV. Alternatively, you can share your thoughts via my channels as well. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all at Kwame Owusu. So I'm also on Clubhouse. You can follow me on Clubhouse. We're just Kwame Owusu. So let's come back home, albeit that we found a way of bringing into the Somali argument, you know, that which is also workable for Ghana.
Local content.
Yeah. So let's come home and deal with the second story. Government records 1 billion oil revenue due to strategic mobilization. Saga, I'm sure you're happy that at least we've been able to mobilize some 1 billion Ghana cedis from our oil revenues in the estimation of daily analysts through strategic mobilization.
Well, I mean, everybody should be happy, not me alone, because you are also a Ghanaian and you should also be happy. Ambassador Sam Piale and Hajia must also be happy that we have a government, a very proactive government, a government that has the foresight to mobilize, to ensure that it put in strategic mechanisms in order for us to chop 1 billion, you know, through the oil revenue. And then, you know, Kwame, I mean, when we talk about oil, and one thing comes to mind, you know, when we first discovered oil, we decided that we were not going, the oil must not be a curse, but should be a blessing. And indeed, because of that, you remember, I remember President Kufuor, you know, had to put in place committees for us to enact laws that will ensure that when the oils start coming on stream, we will be able to, you know, get the full benefit of the oil resources. And when he went out of power, the committee continued, and Professor Mills, you know, took it through, and we have the oil management.
Second, hold your thought there. Let me just go for this quick commercial break. When I return, respectfully, we'll continue, please.
Okay, no problem.
Every day, he has a drink filled with malt. Every day, he has a drink filled with malt and milk. Every day, he has a drink filled with malt, milk, and cocoa. Every day, he needs the nutritious goodness of Milo. Milo, the energy to go further. This advert is FDA approved. Every day, he looks after his brother and chases a bus. Every day he looks after his brother, chases a bus, and learns new things. Every day he looks after his brother, chases a bus, learns new things, and gets back home. Every day he looks after his brother, chases a bus, learns new things, gets back home, and helps his mom. Phew. That's why every day he needs his cup of Milo filled with the nutritious goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa. Milo, the energy to go further.
From Nestle.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back. Thank you very kindly for staying tuned to Pan-African Television. We needed to go for that quick commercial break. Saka, respectfully, please continue.
So
you're actually on track.
Yeah, you see, the topic is that Ghana
has rigged in 1 billion.
1 billion through strategic means, you know, as part of its drive to get more money through the oil, through the oil. Like I was saying, over the years, and then especially in 2008, 2009, when the MPP government left office, a lot of things has already gone in place to ensure that the oil that we discovered do not become, you know, a curse, but a blessing. Why am I saying so? Because we took into consideration other countries like Norway and other countries that made the oil to become black gold, and when the oil came on stream, however money that they got from the oil, it was not put to good use. I'm saying this because I'm saying we have been able to at least galvanize or rake in 1 billion. But to what end will this 1 billion go? If we get 1 billion and then the 1 billion is dissipated through corruption or through other means, then you might as well not even use that strategic means like digitization, ensuring that you plug some loopholes and get the money that is due for this country. A lot of things have to be taken into consideration. It has, first of all, the laws. Where is the money going? Which money goes where? What are the monitoring mechanisms? And that was one of the reasons why we brought in PIAC, the Public Interest and Accountability Committee, to ensure that they monitor how the oil revenue is spent. We ensure that there is money that is put in there for future use. That is the Heritage Fund. Then we ensure that there is money that is used to balance the budget. That is the Stabilization Fund. And there is a money that is put to support the budget. And that is the ABFA, which is about 70% of the revenue that we rake in. So now, if you are talking about the pool, there is a stream, the Oil Revenue Management Act, that all the oil revenues come in. And that pool ensure that nobody mismanage it. And that is the reason why you remember the PIAC has been on the neck of Ministry of Finance on how they have been able to manage the ABFA, which gives the minister 4 priority areas to invest every year. I'm happy, like you said, that 1 billion has come on stream. But that 1 billion, I'm not sure everything is going to be used this year. Like I said, part of it will go elsewhere, part of it will go into the about 21% will go into the Stabilization Fund. About 7%, 9% will go into the Heritage Fund. And then 70% will go into the ABFA. So what will be used this year? We all know that the free SHS will consume part of it. Part of it will go into the budget, that is the consolidated fund. And then, we can have maximum use of it. But most importantly, even the oil that we get and the small amount that we get out of it, Ghana, even though we have discovered, the oil was discovered and all that, it's not, ours. We have just close to 18% of it. I mean, really, what we have really is about 13.75%. We talk about royalties, we talk about rent charges and all those things. All of them, come. Then you get closer to about 20%. But 1 billion in a single year for a country like Ghana, I think that we have done well, because we are not an OPEC country. Once you are not an OPEC country, you don't normally get like Nigeria, Libya. Those countries actually get a lot because they get more than 1 million barrel per day. And those are, members of that group of OPEC countries. So if we, in a very modest manner, we've been able to use some strategic means to rake in 1 billion, that 1 billion must be used for the benefit of the people. The 4 priority areas that the ABFA goes in, we have to monitor and ensure that the good people of this country get maximum use of it. And all the others that we actually do the investment. If we are able to do so, and let people see, properly the benefit that is derived from the oil. I think that any time that we cross even the 1 billion mark, people will be happy. But if we get it, and then nobody, see the benefit of it. I mean, it will be, business as usual. That we have gotten money, and then you don't even know where the money is gone. That is the reason why I will continue to praise Nana Danko Akufo-Addo when he says that we have to ensure that by the time this oil is depleted, because it's a depletable resource, by the time it is gone, we would have used it to build the human resource of this country. We would have used it to build the nation, because he said that the greatest resource that we have is not in our natural resources, but the human resource. And that is the reason why he has geared the revenue of the oil towards the free SHS.
Correct.
So that even after the oil is gone, the human beings will still remain and propel this nation to the next level.
Beautifully submitted. Ambassador.
I think we should not miss the circumstances. Here, what I read the story to be saying is that we have introduced mechanisms to be able to halt the inflow of revenue or the management of the revenues, because some OMCs, oil marketing companies, were buying third parties and all that time. You remember in recent times, before the election, there was this rumor that a syndicate was operating somewhere, which was doing this bunkering of oil and other things. It is good that we go towards eliminating any fraudulent means in the value chain, because if you come to my area, Amina and all those areas, you'll see tankers parked, and the local fishermen or some business people will use these floaters, they call them floaters, go to the ship, drain the, buy diesel especially, and they come and sell it to these filling stations, what you call the Gawo filling stations. But it became such a lucrative business that now very big companies have been established. So if you are going through through Western region, you see this big water tanks with the inner tubes around it. It's a floater. These are very, very huge. And I think all these things were leakages into a revenue. So if it is not the big men who themselves were doing it, but if the big men have found a way to resolve the deal, then I'm happy. Anytime anybody talks about fuel, oil in this country, must first praise Jerry Rawlings for establishing the GNPC. The GNPC, which was headed by Tachuchi Kata. Ghana would not have been able to discover any oil without the work done by that group of people. At a point, some people were even trying to come and buy our data. This is the work that they did. That led to President Kufuor taking that bold decision. Okay, then we should go commercial. But as for oil exploration, it's been taking place for centuries. Even Qatar, there's oil there. Trying to do it.
Oil basin.
Yeah. Again, if we are managing or we are seeking to manage our revenue from oil properly, we should thank people, be grateful to people. You see, a country that does not recognize its heroes is not worth dying for. Setepe, your friend Setepe.
Yes.
The hell he had to go through in establishing the Heritage Fund, the ABF.
Yes.
The hell that man had to go through in this country.
What's it?
Huh?
No, I'm not.
You see, he was heckled in Parliament. At a point in time, we were demanding that, what is the need for keeping money in our accounts when we are sovereign? And that's when people tried to get into the Heritage Fund.
Yeah.
He stood his ground. And today, I'm told that we took a lot of money for the COVID from that fund.
No, we haven't. It's only the stabilization fund. Not the heritage.
But stabilization fund.
The Heritage Fund is used to fund something. Which one?
Heritage Fund is for future use.
Is it not for free SHS?
No. Heritage Fund nobody
been touched.
It's invested in Euro Clear investment somewhere.
And prove to him that the Heritage Fund.
No, it's not touched.
You have not been touched.
No.
Okay, I don't have my phone here. Well, I told you the amount of money we have taken for.
No, it has not been touched. I'm giving you facts.
Whether it's been taken, we have touched it or we have not touched it. We must give thanks to those who established that fund, because, like he's saying, oil products have a span. And we are not like the Saudi Arabians and who continuously drill for oil. And their strategy is far different from our strategy. In Saudi Arabia, you can't come and invest for them to have only 20%.
Maybe.
You can't do that.
No.
Because the resource is for them. So their strategy is that you either take a loan from you with technical expertise and pay you back whatever you have invested over this number of years. But it will not be that we would have our resources, Talo and the rest will come and dig it out and pay us peanuts. Initially, it makes sense. It made sense. Initially, maybe because we didn't have the resources, we wanted to attract people.
The risk involved.
And we wanted to attract them. But what stops us now that people know that our oil quality is good, now that people know of the quantity, assured of the quantity and the quality, why don't we take a decision that, look, going forward, when we find any other pond, there's a strategy we are going to go to and use it.
That's when I agree with you. I don't think we've even strategized for the future.
No. Again, Saka, let us praise not only the current people, but previous people. If we had not had somebody like Professor John Atamos to establish the Atuabo gas plant, by now, what would we be doing?
But that one is a matter of course. No country would discover oil and not establish gas plants.
My friend,
No country in the world would do that.
Does he know? Does he know Nigeria?
So are you saying Nigeria?
Do you know Nigeria?
They don't have gas plants?
Yeah, so I'm saying that the person who established the gas plant needs praises as your digitization that has given us 1 billion. No, so.
Absolutely.
You brought in digitization and you have 1 billion, and we should praise everybody. And I'm saying that let us extend our voices of gratitude to those who have used the revenue properly and who have established, enduring infrastructure for this country. That is
I think it's logical.
Yes, because if we are going to go on the route every day, President Kufuor discovered oil. Within 4 years, how can a country discover oil? He took a decision, and we praise him for that. But we should not forget the fact that even the geological department that was set up to go do it was set by Kwame. No, so.
Why did you take the thing out of my list? I was just listening to the two of you carefully for me to come there.
Because I know it's started.
So Kwame discovered oil in Ghana.
Saka.
In commercial quantity.
It starts from somewhere. It starts from a study. If the group of people don't have the technical know-how.
I don't think he's in disagreement.
So I'm not in disagreement.
I don't think he's in
disagreement. So you want everybody to
much as.
So how about independent?
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. Look, I just knew you were going to say that. I knew it.
They play into their own game.
The independence debate.
It's so predictable.
The independent debate is settled.
A long time ago in Bethlehem.
It's settled.
But I was arrested, of course, because we were making a very fantastic. I don't want you to derail your chain of trajectory.
You said we should praise everybody.
Oh, Saka, let's allow Ambassador to speak.
You see, for this,
no, you're talking about the trouble gas.
For this young man's interpretation of what I was saying, let me repeat what I'm saying. Okay?
Yeah.
As for independence, and who is to be credited with the independence, that debate is settled. Long time.
By who?
By proper historians.
Not the
Proper and matured politicians.
Not the Buga ones.
You understand? I always argue that, we had a picture here, the big six. You know it. I don't want to digress into it, but let him come back to this. For Sec Tekpe, to put out the ABFA and all those things, and for people who came later to be engaged in this bunkering and stealing things, if we have corrected it as a country, we should be grateful. But I like Saka's proposition. How we are going to use the 1 billion
It's what matters.
is what matters. And as to whether the money has actually hit our account and in what form it hit our account is another matter. You understand? Maybe is it in taxation? Is it from loophole you have plugged? As a result of which we would have lost several millions of oil revenue. What is the nature of the benefits we have derived? These are the issues that we should look at.
Right.
Could be, as usual, Ghana, I will come and blow my horn that we have earned 1 billion. But where is the money?
It's canoeing.
Where is it? If we have $1 billion, Kwame,
Then why did you go for the Euro?
why did we go for the Euro bonds? If we had $1 billion,
why did we go?
why is our economy?
So you don't need more money.
Economy
In the stress.
distress.
We're gonna go into that particular issue, and
because
clearly, I think that
we are only 22 or 30 million people.
yeah,
30.
30 million people.
yeah.
Our infrastructure is weak. Our education system is weak. Everything is weak. So if we have derived $1 billion, it's a lot of money,
Right.
which has to be used judiciously, as he is saying.
Fantastic. I mean, brilliant argument. Ajay, I'm coming to you, but it appears that I don't know. Maybe it's because we don't have a specific development policy, which is why we are going through all the things that we're going through. Because when we get the money, it's like, you know, when somebody is so poor and they get small money, the money determines how they should.
That is called Christmas money.
Ah.
There's no budget.
So that's what it appears to me. It seems to me that because we don't have money, once we get some money, we think it's free money and we just spend it. And then we'll come to the realization that the money is gone and nothing has been done. I don't know if... because I remember, if you recall, with the grace of respect, if you recall, when Ken Oforiatta was before, the first time he went before the vetting committee, he was asked. And that was when I developed a certain likeness for him. When he indicated that, you know, per his checks, he realized that at the port, we were losing, I think, about $500 million annually as a result of corruption and the leakages and things like that. And he was going to ensure that we plug those loopholes in order for us to internally mobilize revenue. And that made me fall in love with him.
And what happened?
Yeah, so what happened is also another matter. But if we have this mindset, right, then how come that we are not able to, first of all, generate those revenues? And when we generate those revenues, we are not able to also channel them into areas where they would yield positive dividends for our nation.
If you raise this kind of questions or maybe observation, you'll be told that they are servicing some debts and what have you. But I think as a nation, we have to set our priorities right. What is the agenda? In 4 years, what do we want to achieve? As Ambassador Sampiyali said, is there any national focus, national agenda for this country? I think we don't have. Why? Because people base their developmental agenda on their manifesto promises. And maybe if you've promised something in the manifesto, even at that material moment, if it's not going to inure to the benefit of the Ghanaian people, because it's a promise, you want to fulfill that promise. I think that is what is derailing our progress as a nation. Now, we are all happy we've gotten $1 billion. Myself and Uncle Sam will not be in a position to know whether this money has hit our accounts or not. Because I was even asking the question that, then why did we go for this 3 billion euro bonds that we are doing?
The 5 billion.
Is it 5 or 3? It's 5. It's 3.
It's 5. The current one?
Yeah, the current one.
5.
Oh, it's 5.
Yeah,
okay.
5.
Then Saka asked whether we don't need more money. I think we need more money. But we should see the money as tangible. So see, we can say this is what we've been able to achieve from the money that we took. So if we do that, then we give hope to the people. So that if you just, a graphic, or is it, which paper is that? It's a government records 1 billion, everybody will be excited. Yes, this 1 billion will go into this sector, that sector, and so on and so forth. $1 billion is a lot of money. And I think the reportage, fine, but we need some kind of clarity, explanation. This 1 billion, is it in our coffers? or it's an expectation of maybe us getting that money, or it's already in our coffers. And to achieve this, I think the systems that were put in place, that was what made it possible for us to be getting this 1 billion. I think if other sectors of the economy, like the way you said the ports is the most leaking too much. Why don't we do it in such a way that before you even import anything from Europe, America, wherever, by the time you get to the ports, you've already paid your duties, everything. So that there was nothing like go, come, and then somebody will come. A friend of mine called me from UK and said, oh, Aja, that he came and then somebody was telling him that he knows somebody at the port, he can go. You see, why is it so? We go to UK, we go to America, we admire the way their system is working because laws are being enforced, and bylaws, the local people in New York, be it Bronx, wherever, they know what they are supposed to do. They don't wait for anybody to come and start chasing them, where's their tax, and hey, they pay even before. So I think if systems can be put in place, like I told you, the airports, the ports, and be it what
the tolls, the road
tolls, this, you see. If you talk about the road tolls that they are taking, and then maybe you say if you can get rid of the human factor, sort of Ajay is sitting on TV, people don't have jobs, and she's saying that but the leakages there is too much. What we can look at from when you are from Nsawam coming, there's a there's a village on the Somalia road. It's just like from here to Mawako side, the road is terrible. We pay road tolls every day. So that's why if I go to the market and then I don't get a place, if I force to park, if they're complaining, I say, I pay road toll. You're not supposed to put your table on the road. We can raise money internally to develop this country. There's a lot of money. Look at the buildings that are springing up across this country, and for that matter, Accra, Kumasi. How many people are paying property rates? Something that an assembly is supposed to do. Now ministers are even doing it. Look at the new Greater Accra Regional Minister. Look at the way he's bulldozing his way everywhere to make sure things are done right. What is the use of the MCs, DCs, or what do you call them?
Why do we pay them?
Why do we pay them?
If they can't work.
If they cannot work, then there's no need we have them. There's no need we have them. So I think it's a good news. We are all excited. And I just want to pause here and ask, can this contribute to the reduction of our debt? Because I think what we are hearing or what we are reading is since we are heading towards the ditch if we are not careful with the way debts are being incurred to this country. So for me, let's put mechanism in place. Let's get the data. Let's get everybody on board in such a way that we go to say, hey, they are paying taxes. But before a person can pay tax, that's when the person is working well, being paid well. You understand? They are in Abuja, they are working, they are paying tax, but they are not complaining much. But here we are overtaxed. And then even look at the minimum wage. Minimum wage, it's like somebody going to buy antimony wache. More than even that. So I think let's put system in place, mechanisms in place that will get us to the stage that we can internally generate funds to see to the development of this country. But before we can do that, if we can depoliticize national agenda and see all of us as God. Did you read the story about the Tanzanian opposition going to meet the new president? Yes, that they are not just, it's not like sellout, but they think it is their interest to also help the government succeed. Yeah. With good ideas. That's what they say. But can we do it in Ghana here? After 4 years, everybody is waiting. Even in the first year, people are raising their boots to maybe also win the next election. without contributing. It is incumbent on the winner to extend some olive leaf to the opposition in this country to help with ideas to move this country forward. Else, every 4 years, Kwame will come and sit here and say the same story. Look at our roots. Look at our roots. It's serious.
Wow.
So for me, whatever will bring revenue to the central government, for the central government to channel those revenue into our development, I don't have a problem with it. So that's what I mean.
Beautiful submission by Haji Amdatu. Let me go for this quick commercial break. When I come back, there's still more for us to touch on. One, we're going to be touching on the economy being in distress. Also, and that's on the front page of the Insight newspaper. And also, we're going to be touching on concerted government policies way forward to housing challenges by Asenso Boache. And like I intimated, Asenso Boache is one of the guys that I admire so much. And I think that he has prospects. Hopefully, we will all be able to support him succeed. Quick commercial break. Stay with us. Don't move with myself.
Every day, he has a drink filled with malt. Every day, he has a drink filled with malt and milk. Every day, he has a drink filled with malt, milk, and cocoa. Every day, he needs the nutritious goodness of Milo. Milo, the energy to go further. This advert is FDA approved. Every day, he looks after his brother and chases a bus. Every day he looks after his brother, chases a bus, and learns new things. Every day he looks after his brother, chases a bus, learns new things, and gets back home. Every day he looks after his brother, chases a bus, learns new things, gets back home, and helps his mom. Phew. That's why every day he needs his cup of Milo filled with the nutritious goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa. Milo, the energy to go further.
From Nestle.
This advert is FDA approved.
Back. Thank you very much for staying tuned into Pan-African Television. You're still watching the news review segment. Today I'm excited because it is more of very nationalistic, really, the conversations that we have had so far. Even Sakasalia. Are you surprised? Don't be. Today Saka is it's a proper Ghanaian today. I'm sure it's because he's fasting. He doesn't want to tell lies. I'm joking. I can't take a joke no more.
Forced to play professional.
Anyway, but Hadia, brilliant submission on the subject matter. I won't lie to you about it because it's like you were speaking from my mind. And this is what I was relating to. But I must say that briefly before we move to the next topic, I think Hadia has raised some very relatable issues. And if you may, just also touch on it with your fountain of knowledge so that we can progress. And of course, Saka will also touch on that, and then we can progress. She made a number of, she brought out a number of issues. She spoke about internally generating revenues and how we can also channel those revenues into ensuring that we ameliorate the sufferings of the people and all of that.
Kwame, it's very obvious.
Yes, sir.
That a father who always borrows money will end up being a poor man, and his children will be poor, no matter what you look at it, no matter. If our beef is always looking for loans, bonds, mortgaging our future revenues, we end up being a borrower for life. Are we saying that in this country, if we decided to mobilize $1 billion, you can't have it?
It's very possible.
It's possible. Look, in India and Rwanda, as you know, the industries that are operating in the country are considered as part of their GDP. And in Ghana, we record them as part of our GDP only for the purposes of recordings. So, for example, if we floated a local bond of 3 billion and asked the MTN, the Vodafone, the whatever,
to put money to
it. Within the COVID fund, how much did we get? Within 3 months, how much did we get?
I've forgotten the figure, but it was some great amount.
So we tell ourselves within the next 4 years, we are raising local bonds of 4 billion, okay? And so we do that syndication. I am sure we will be able to get it. SNET is there. Very big companies are here. And even individuals like me and Nadia, we can also put in our 10,000 or 20,000 to build this country. You know, but the penchant of always going outside to look for investors, and the investors don't come free. You understand what I'm saying? They don't come. The percentage of interest.
Another factor.
The person who is giving us, the broker himself is taking his share.
Percentage.
And you know we cannot go straight to these international financiers without these brokers.
Third parties.
So that we got more than 6 or 10 parties.
So you pay small.
Small.
The money is gone.
Yes, the money is gone. So we need to...
I think it's a great addition.
We need to actually decide. And I think the TUC has come back to its real position.
Okay.
Asking that there should be a national dialogue, like we did in Senche. There should be a national dialogue where small ideas like mine can come to play. You know, for example, if you sit here and you tell me that within 1 year you have lost over $5 billion in gold smuggling, what are you telling me?
Right. I mean, these are very...
If you tell me that we have lost about 2 billion through cocoa smuggling, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, so what is the patrol system around our cocoa smuggling unit? We can, as a country, decide that, forget about this infantile definition of who we are by politics. It's so infantile. No country develops on slogans. No country develops on, I am this, we should praise it. No. Countries developed by scientific analysis of their situation. In India, as I know, they will put scientists in a room or economists in a room. Rwanda did it and said, look, we want solutions to this problem.
And they got the solution.
And they will get the solution. You think that we don't have economists in this country who can push us out of this situation that we have? What about the Kwame pioneers or the Dr. Monfort? We have a lot of economists. Even outside this country, Ghanaians are doing wonders. It's leadership, mobilizing the human resource. You know, I have done a small group, and there's this group led by Dr. Monfort, your friend. Some kind of analysis they do of our economy, you have no idea. Why is it that the country can...
Ambassador, when you sat here, you mentioned Kwame's from about 5. Kwame.
Kwame is a very connected person. So this is what I'm advocating, that we should start looking for local solutions for local problems.
Sure.
I think that's a brilliant suggestion. And perhaps if we put together a national development plan, maybe we'll be able to deal with all of these nuances.
I think so. I think Magufuli did something like that. He tried not to. The Tanzanian lead president. He tried not to borrow and all that. But you see, I mean, that is his point of view. It doesn't mean everybody would agree with that, because I mean, Ghana, we have been pace setters for a very long time on many fronts, both economy, political, and what have you. And then, I mean, we want to quicken the pace of development.
Yeah, we're getting it.
And if you want to quicken the pace of development, you don't do, even the US, they don't rely solely on their own resources. I mean, the biggest economy in the world. That is the reason why we no longer, no country can rely on itself any longer. And for me, I think that laws and all those things, we cannot disregard them. We cannot say we will not borrow and all that. But you see, the world economic order is not helping Africa. Especially when you go to the bond market, or you go to borrow, then there is the interest rate, and then debt repayment becomes something that is hanging on our necks. For instance, this country, we pay about 20 billion a year, only on interest on loans. That one alone can prosecute a lot of our developmental works. So I think that there should be way out where we can get money and not pay such astronomical amount of interest on the loans. Because, I mean, I don't think that when US go to borrow, they pay such amount of interest. I don't think Japan, the China and all those things. But for us in Africa, I don't know why they bracket us into, they pigeonhole us into some hole and think that for us when we borrow, we have to, and more so when we ourselves also decided that we cannot govern our resources within ourselves. So any development is always attached to foreign loan or whatever. If you look at our budget, and the budget has components, the domestic revenue component, and then the grants and loans. And most of the time, the loans and grants where the budget is attached do not come. For instance, if there is a budget for a certain road, and then the money will have to be brought from a foreign source, and then the money doesn't come, the work would not be done. And we have seen some of these things where there is always carryover of projects undone, projects that have not been done and all that. So when you galvanize resources from within yourself, that one, you are 100% sure that the money will come. But when it is coming from outside, you are not sure.
Right.
And then in the end, see, the last point I want to make is that as Ghanaians, if government decides that, okay, let's pay this small tax and add it to this particular one and then prosecute this agenda, you see everybody up in arms. Sentiment will be whipped by the opposition, and then everybody will get up and say, oh, government is not sensitive and all that. Then when the government decides to go to the market and borrow money, hey, the government is borrowing so much.
Do you know when people complain?
In the end, what do you want the government to do?
Do you know when people complain? I think people complain when they don't see anything being done when the money's already borrowed.
Yeah,
so that's why.
Kwame.
And on the basis of that, I'm actually starting with you on the next topic. Economy in depth strength.
Kwame, if we say we cannot generate funds, or maybe is the world economic order, so we have to borrow monies and so on and so on, it's because we don't have visionary leaders on the continent of Africa. Because we have to go as a group. But everybody is thinking of himself. No country in Africa can just say that, okay, I can stand on my own and do this and do that. In my earlier submission, I mentioned AU. What are they doing?
Nothing.
Can they also be a bloc? The way Europe, we started African Union before European Union started. If I'm like ambassador.
Yeah,
you see,
I always hear that, but I have my reservations. But
so therefore, why can't we also look at our markets? What we think we can, Ghana is import substitution, what can we give to Togo and what can we also get from Togo? I'm just giving Togo, I know Togo don't have much more. And then we go to the same market with the Europeans, the Americans to borrow money, but our interest is higher than the developed countries. And we are the developing countries. So they want us to remain in perpetual poverty. You see? You've used Africa to build your economy, and still we are in distress. But still, using Africa to sustain that economy. That is bad. So that is why, as Africans, we should think outside the box and look at what we can do that will near to the benefit of our own people.
Right.
Now, the economy
IMF,
is in distress. After IMF, if they start praising you, check yourself.
Be careful.
Check yourself. If they start praising you, then you should know that you are heading towards a ditch. They are in charge of giving us money, IMF, World Bank, and so on and so forth. And then we keep on borrowing. And then our economy is not still strong. And you keep on giving us the money. And now you are saying that this thing to GDP will be 86 point something percent by the end of 2021.
Yeah.
And it will only be okay around 2026. So even if they are going to, we don't know whether we can even survive till the 2026. It all boils down to the way we handle our economy. If we don't earn much, but we spend more than what we earn, it's basic economics. that will show you that by all means your economy will be in distress. We are not producing. One district, one factory. But we are still importing matches, toothpick, toilet rolls. Everything is being imported. Why can't we sit down and strategize? Okay, we are going to spend 4 years in government. We've realized that the percentage, the dollar to CD, this thing is still depreciating. What can we produce? Like the toilet rolls. We say, no, we are not going to import toilet rolls again. We are not going to import tissues that we use for our parties. We're not going to import toothpick. We are going to make a concerted effort to produce these things locally. Kwame, you look at the money that they use to go to China and other places to import those things, and you know the reason why our economy will continue to be in distress. And if we are not careful, we'll go back to the old days of HIPEC.
Right.
If we are not careful.
Thank you.
So I think the best thing, the NPP government promised us that we are moving from taxation to production. So far, what have we been able to produce to also export and earn those foreign currencies that... But I asked myself the other day, and somebody was laughing at me, that, Jawa, I don't understand. I said, it's not about economics. It's about what is on the table. You go to Makwala, go to Bulga market and say the economic indicators are this, blah, blah, blah.
Therefore, the sell to me at 1 cedi.
They will not understand that. What they understand is if I buy this pen for 5 cedis, and after 6 months I can still buy it for 5 cedis, then they will know that they are making progress. But if you have a situation whereby every time your capital is rather depleting, reducing, it brings some kind of mixed feeling. We need to stabilize the economy. We need to stabilize our city. We need to produce more instead of importing. Rice, look at this arable land from West Ashanti region up to Bulgatanga. Look at Burkina Faso, dry land. They are producing tomatoes, onions, and we even go there and armed robbers to kill our drivers and then take the monies from the women and so on and so forth. What are we not getting right as a country? I think that is where we should sit around the table and then get a solution so that we're able to stabilize our city and our economy will be on track but not in distress.
Thank you very much. Good morning to you, Rachel Aka. You're watching us. Good morning to you, Georgette. You're watching us. Good morning to you, George. You're watching us. And good morning to the general manager of Ridge Royal Hotel. You're watching us this morning. Chairman Sam, good morning. I trust you're doing well. And Chairman Kweku Wuntum Take. Jarrains.
Kwame. Kwame.
This matter.
Kwame. You know when I was thanking Matthew about
Matthew
the money, they have sent the money back.
Oh, Matthew.
My niece just sent me saying
that's great.
Matthew is a good
Matthew to Puzo.
So
Brongo Dumazawa.
Mamefua is greeting us.
Mamefua, oh, good morning to you, Mamefua. I trust you're doing well. Let me come to you, Ambassador Sampiale, and I'll end with Saka. Economy in debt distress. I wish I could discuss the fourth topic. I said, so much.
We will.
I like that guy. Yeah. I've not met him, but I like him.
Identifying your problem is half of the solution. But what you identify as your problem is very important. Now, if our economy is in distress, it's not just enough for anybody to just mention that we are in distress. The other issue is how we get out of the distress and get out properly. I was not too old then, but I participated in Operation Feed Yourself. If you remember, when Achampon took over and said that Yentia will not pay anything to the foreign, we will not pay our foreign debt. Okay, let me finish this.
No, you just crossed it because somebody sent something. When Saka was saying that you don't use a heritage fund to fund free SHS, somebody sent some document.
Yeah.
So just to correct Saka. Yes.
So what did the document say?
Heritage Fund is used to.
So what did no, read the document.
No. Go ahead. Oh.
I disagree with the person.
You see, when you have such problems, you first and foremost try homegrown solutions. Hadia, today as we sit, we have our agricultural minister
Yes.
telling us that
My uncle.
we have food in abundance. We have done this, we have done this, we have done that. But the reality is not the case. I'm not blaming anybody. You may say it for any reason or for any purpose. But the point is that, Chief, let me get to the road sector and then how the NDC proposed to solve the road sector problem. You know what?
Tell me.
You see these Chinese, these short people. When you give them the road contract, you know what they do? They look for a hill, a mountain around your roadside, and they do the quarry there.
Yeah.
And that's what they use for their road construction. So can't you as a country say that, look, we are buying 2 quarrying machines, large quarrying machine. We take a loan of 5 billion, invest in that for the northern sector and the southern sector, all right? And then buy this road machines that do the asphalting.
There's one that was built. Constituency Connect did a documentary like that.
Yes.
I think Mahama built something like that.
Yes.
No, it's true. It's true.
That's why I'm saying that
That's true.
That's what
For coal processing or something like that.
That's what we were going to.
Constituency Connect. If Tijani is here, he can pull the video out.
So, for example, you see our military, we have the field engineers regiment. Their role is to build roads in times of war or whatever it is.
Yes.
But the engineers and everybody are sitting there. They are there. So
We bring Chinese and to build our roads.
roads. You know, the best roads in this country have been built by Ghanaians.
Yeah, because the Ghanaians, they feel it.
Straight road contractors. They did the Accra and Sawam road.
It's still strong.
It's so strong. So what we would have done was to give this loan that we were going to take, buy the equipment and everything, and give it to the armed forces, the field engineers, for the Western region roads. You know, you have traveled the Western region road.
Of course,
Every year gets worse. So it is strategic planning and strategic decision making that can solve the problem. It's not the number of times we go for loans or bonds. It's not that one will not solve the problem. It's like you are in the pit and you are still digging in the pit. You know, we have seen a dimension of our economy going through gold smuggling, isn't it? What are we doing about it? Why don't we establish a gold refinery right at Takwa Prestia so that the people will go and refine it? Today, if you want a gold ring for a wedding or anything, it's more expensive than the one from Dubai.
That's true.
Dubai doesn't have 1 ounce of gold. So our economy is in distress, either through our own actions and inactions. You know, I don't blame any political class, but it's about time that we politicians realized that the people will not be fed by our words, by our actions. I can't see a minister, goddamn you sitting in office in suit and always having press conferences and think you are solving problem. Damn you, you are not solving any problem. After being a minister, he doesn't even go back to his constituency. Because he goes, the roads are not good. All right? Your uncle and aunties are sitting in Watonchini, no, this is a bone shaker cars. Huh? And you are in 4-wheel drive.
Please proceed.
You see, MP people, when you are meeting them, they record.
No, it's Facebook.
No, it's on Facebook.
It's Facebook.
You see, KD,
Yeah.
we need practical solutions for our country's problems. And no IMF,
Yeah.
no World Bank, no donor can solve the problem. Remember, the IMF is like the commercial bank. Commercial bank. They want you to come for the loans. Make it difficult for you to pay. So that you can pay the interest.
Of course.
That is the IMF.
Then the principal will still be
The
staring
principal
at
is
you,
still there.
waiting for you beautiful.
Because if the IMF does not make the money, at the annual conferences, how are they going to declare the profit?
Yep. Matadeo.
So we see IMF as a political punching bag. MPP will box it small, NDC will punch it small. But the solution is in Senche. You know the Senche?
Yeah.
The solution is bringing our best people without political polarization.
Homegrown.
Don't bring the politicians there. Let them sit down. Bring the university dons and everything.
You brought Ekwadonko.
Wait a minute.
But
you got it all wrong. Listen.
But are you saying that the market women are not?
Wait. When we were writing the constitution, you remember that we brought market women. I think you were
the consultative
assembly. We brought all those people. Oseko for the football, the ace footballer. The mother was called Abnetia. She, when he gets up to speak, and he speaks in Chi, Akuchelai. He spoke wisdom. She spoke wisdom. Education, I mean, wisdom is not in the heads of only the educated people. Ekwadonko has his own, constituency. He has also got what he can contribute. Even if there is the humor at the meeting, he will cool down tension.
Yeah.
So don't override what her contribution could be.
Respectfully conclude for me.
So I'm saying that it's time that our political leadership accept the fact that we have not voted for them to sit in their lazy chairs and all they can do is how to give us more loans. The effect of these loans is that we are old. We are not going to pay for it. But the younger generation are going to pay for these loans. What have we done to make them able to pay?
It's another
factor.
Let's just end.
Yeah, please.
Let's just end. In this country now, we are not thinking about the ordinary person. You know what is happening in America? Biden. He's taking money and paying it to the ordinary people. Today, our economic philosophy is what? Property owning. That's our political philosophy. Our pastors are preaching prosperity. So what would the young people aspire to?
To killing people.
Spirituality.
And making money. Interesting, revealing, thought-provoking submission by...
We are not giving them employment.
Some PLA.
We are not giving them employment. We are not giving them proper education to make them competitive. We are borrowing on them. What would the youth do in 20 years?
Well, some of the developing countries are actually investing in artificial intelligence. Until today, we are not in... Look, when you drive on the streets of Accra, you find 5 years, 6 years, 7 years begging. As though there's
and then my point. You are saying that people are being taught artificial intelligence. In India, they start at the age of 5 going. Today, at SSS, we are teaching them the parts of a lizard, the parts of a cow.
It's a problem. Zaka.
And
what book are you holding? What book is that?
No, this is a leadership of service.
Are you promoting Baume? Are you promoting Baume to break the 8?
Well, I mean, he's a heir apparent.
The 8. But where's the heir apparent?
He's a heir apparent.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that he won't be challenged. Somebody will challenge him. But he's a heir apparent.
Okay.
But this is a book of some of our achievements of the last 4 years.
Okay.
Yes.
It looks well packaged.
Yeah, it's well packaged.
Is it like the green book?
This one is better than the green book.
This is a blue book.
This one is a white.
But I like MPP. I like MPP for one thing. You know, they said their doomsday is better than...
Oh, no. We are not going through doomsday.
Their borrowing is better than NDC's borrowing.
I've gone through this book, and all it is graphs and figures.
Oh, please.
In NDC Blue Book, we were showing...
Kwame, let me
reach hospital.
No. When we finish, then you can talk about it.
But I'm saying that I like the MPP for one thing.
No, it's
good PR.
No problem.
Very good PR.
You don't, no problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
I'm wasting your time.
Yeah, you're wasting my time. What's the topic? What did they say?
You are in debt distress.
Who said that we are in debt distress?
Who didn't say that? IMF said that you are in debt distress.
Very good. I just want you to make, you see, these people continue to deceive us.
Who? IMF?
Yeah. You see, I'm listening. Yeah, you just listen to me. They continue to deceive us, and to the extent that even some of us.
Yes.
Some of us believe that, oh, this economy is in complete distress.
Comatose.
Because you see, what are some of the indicators that actually shows that we are in distress? They were mentioning the debt to GDP. Am I lying, Kwame?
Yes,
they said that the debt to GDP is 76.
80%.
They say 76, and that by the end of this year, it will get to
80%.
80% and all that. And that means that we are in debt. We are a debt distressed country. Meanwhile, if you go to the US debt to GDP is 106. 106. And you don't call them debt distressed country. If you go to Japan.
That's IMF, eh?
Yeah. If you go to Japan debt to GDP is 237%.
I'll explain why they don't call them debt distressed.
No.
I'll explain why.
No. Okay, explain. Explain before I continue.
Because when they describe you as a debt distressed country, it means that your propensity to be able to pay those debts amount to zero.
No.
The probability
the
probability of United States of America and Japan paying off their debts is way higher than that. How can you compare Ghana, your country?
No. You see,
What is your production capacity to
debt to GDP defines your ability to service your debt.
Yes. Absolutely.
So if somebody debt to GDP is higher, it means that he has high inability to pay. That is the reason why everybody aspires to have low GDP. So if your GDP is your low GDP ratio to growth, so to debt, if your GDP to debt to GDP ratio is higher, it means that your inability to pay is high. So don't bring. So if Japan has 237% debt to GDP, we have Venezuela 214. Indeed, Sudan and all those countries 200 column. Japan, Canada, US, Venezuela,
Australia,
Portugal,
Australia,
so all of them are hovering
Sri
around.
Lanka, Pakistan.
Yes,
they are all part
so
of it.
if Ghana, I'm coming. So if Ghana, we are hovering around 76, and you project that by the end of the year, we will get to 80. I mean, why should we be classified as debt distress?
Why shouldn't you?
When the others that have crossed 3 times over us, they are borrowing. They for instance, trillions. We are around 191 billion. They are borrowing. Their debt is around some of them around 2 trillion, 4 trillion, 5 trillions, and all that. So that is the reason why I'm saying that we have allowed these people to deceive us into thinking that we are not doing well. We are borrowing too much and all that. When in fact, that is not the case. It is because, like I said from the very word go, it's because of some of the encumbrances that they put on our way. For instance, you go and then borrow, and then they say that you have to pay some stupendous interest in order for you to have your way. Meanwhile, the same group of countries go and then borrow, and it is zero. And it is 0%. Like I said, 20 billion a year on interest alone, not the principal. So this people, I think that we have allowed them to do so. And even when we for instance, in Ghana, they can allow us to go and borrow like 100 billion at once for 1%. I think that for the next 20 years or 10 years, we might not even go and borrow.
Gabriel Atete disagrees with you strongly.
We might not go and borrow anywhere. The money will sit in Ghana. Then we can use the money to prosecute all for instance, all the roads that we want.
Gabriel Atete disagrees with you strongly.
She has always disagreed with
me. She said she was going to stay quiet, but I must respond to Saka. We can't compare our economy to US and Japan. These are highly industrialized nations with GDP in trillions of dollars, mostly private sector driven, and a robust tax system to ensure government revenues are secured to pay those debts.
No, I mean that is. But are you saying that we can also pay?
Saka,
we are equally pay.
You are a student of economics. So
are you saying that we cannot pay?
Can you pay?
We have been paying.
How do you even fund your budget?
You see, even the US.
How do you fund your budget?
I'm saying that they borrow, those people, they borrow more than us.
To do what?
Even China, that we think that they don't. China debt to GDP is around 54%.
The world is not. Let me explain to you.
US over 100%.
The world economy.
So
you are comparing yourself.
No,
and a country that is
no. I'm not comparing.
What's the logic?
But I'm saying that if debt to GDP is the yardstick to measure inability to pay, then those people cannot pay. So they should not use that one and classify us as a debt distressed country.
All right.
See, that's the point I'm making.
My time is about. I have to run.
That's just the point I'm making.
But
you see, and besides that, you see, this debt distress, these things that they're talking about, it is as a result of the COVID situation.
Thank you very much.
Because there is revenue shortfall.
Yeah, shortfall. Yeah.
Because of that, we could not. Our GDP. There was no growth in GDP.
Yes.
Can you imagine 0.2% growth?
Don't just accept that position.
So
because that has been the position. So I think that.
No, it's because of the COVID.
The COVID.
Okay. No. Let me finish.
Let him land.
Let me land.
Please.
I am saying that it is as a result of the COVID. GDP, gross domestic product. It is as a result of what we have been able to grow within the year.
What is GDP?
That's what I'm saying. Gross domestic product.
What is it?
It is all the basket of product, the resources that we have been able to galvanize. So within a year, including even those outside.
How many domestic companies do you have, for instance?
Companies.
Domestic industrialized companies.
I don't know the number, but you can only get
because almost all that you make within the country in a year, particular year,
yes,
it's gone out. It's always out. MTN, that minor company, how do they call them? All those things. Your GDP is what you do. Why don't you calculate with GNP, and then you'll be able to determine how much you make.
No, but you see, you cannot. You see that is the measure. That is the criteria they use economically to do the measurement. But you cannot say that because they repatriate.
Why are you stammering now?
No, you wait. Because they repatriate their profits outside, doesn't mean that we don't benefit from.
You benefit how much? How much do you benefit?
We benefit from oil because the money.
Kwame, how much do you benefit from oil?
We benefit from oil.
How much?
Because
what percentage?
Oh, at least I am saying that we have 13.75.
13 as against.
And come on. We have 13.75, and then we get royalties.
How much?
Royalties out of it. We rent. Surface rentals. I have to run.
And all those things. Let me make a
statement. In conclusion,
yeah,
I need to respect.
In conclusion, I'm saying that we are into this situation where they decided to classify us because of the COVID.
Okay.
Because there is a revenue shortfall, and then there has not been much growth.
Thank you very much. Well, strangely, my cameramen are
not only Ghana, the whole world.
My cameramen are all laughing. They are not economists, but when they heard because of COVID, they started laughing.
Why should they laugh?
Ambassador,
it should never be said.
One second, Aja, please.
No, I don't.
We have lost anything because of COVID. It should never be said. Because the revenues that came to us as a result of COVID, Kwame, if you put them together, they are more than what we would have earned ourselves.
Can we begin to put them?
You had 1 billion from IMF. How much did you get from World Bank?
No, you talk. You 1 billion World Bank. So what's the budget shortfall? So what's the revenue shortfall?
Kwame.
Yes, my boss.
The COVID situation must not be a wailing stone. It should be a mobilizing magnet. Other countries have taken the COVID, not as an excuse for not performance. But we did not just go there. We received money from the COVID. How we use it is another matter. Even the COVID vaccine is being given to us free. You know that?
Not all of them. Is the AstraZeneca.
Apart from that one, Have you imported it?
Bought our own.
Where is it?
Yeah, I mean it will be coming very soon.
So what I'm saying is
let's wrap up.
What I'm saying is,
Did you hear the president? You know, when he gave the update, I've heard the president several times. Yes.
As to what?
I was not talking. It's the AstraZeneca that is given to us.
Yes.
To the COVAX system.
I see what you're trying to do, but let him land.
Oh.
So you should not say that. I see what give it to us free.
I see what you're trying to do.
You don't want us to have the last lesson, isn't it?
The last what?
Please.
I must say respectfully, please.
You see, it's interesting.
But you know.
Saka, I know him. Saka should have learned from Pan-African television or Radio Good that if it came to this game, we are the protis. So we give the report.
Yes.
Yeah, you know,
as for Saluba, if I don't talk, I won't leave here.
Okay, fine. He's talking about what I think. He's a very young man, energetic. Even what he's doing in his local constituency, Bantama, you could see that the guy is up to the task. But I think the ministry he's heading now, we were told the last time that that ministry was deprived of money, of money. By the president and maybe the minister for finance. And I think since he's one of the president's darling boy, I think resources will be pushed into that. But I think he should look at the uncompleted buildings first. Very, very important. We have some in Accra, Kumasi, everywhere. So you see, it's the taxpayers' money. Even if they are loans, we are going to pay for those. So I think let's finish those buildings. If there are some bottlenecks, if there are some court issues, let's look at it. After all, the courts are Ghanaian judges and lawyers. That will also see to what will inure to the benefit of Ghanaians, not any political party.
Simplicity.
So I think before I finish, the Ramadan, we are praying. You know, Ramadan is a time of sharing and helping the poor. I think those who have should please come to the aid of those who don't have. So I think that is what Ramadan teaches us. Some people will even have it in abundance. They will cook and throw it away. It's un-Islamic. And I think we should do our best to help others. But before I crack, I want to wish my sister Sarah, please. She's called Hajara Garba, popularly known as Sarah. She's in Kumasi. Happy Ramadan. And then Magajin Garim Kumasi, the newly chief that we installed at the Zongo community in Kumasi, with his beautiful wife Hajia Fati. And I wish them all well. And then I cannot wish everybody without wishing our own national chief imam. He does a lot in this Ramadan. You see people going to donate to him. Kwame, if you go to his house, you know that this man is a father. He shares among the Muslim community. And please, those who get 10 bags, don't put it in your house. Also share. That's our religion. Sharing is caring. Yeah. I wish all my brothers and sisters, Alaji Baba, Alaji Ali. My Bulu is chairman. No. Yes. Ramadan Mubarak, my own brother Alhaji Baba, your friend. I wish him and all those chairmen who are Muslims, even the non-Muslims, because some of them also help in giving sugar and what have you to our Muslim brothers and sisters. If you give, that the hands that give will never lack. The hands that gives never lacks. So please, mula rokunku wanda kuka samu kadan ku ba mutanen mu su ma azumin ga yi musu sauki domin gaskiya azumin nan ba wasa bane ga rana ga wahala wannan ka samu shinkafa kadan in ka dafa ka ba dan wanka don shi mun gode sosai Pan African TV da kuita duban Pan African TV suna ba mu chance mula magana kala son kai Hausa ne kai kala son kai farfaranci mpuzo mbanima ne manima mpuriya ne kapai. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Saka is fasting, yes. But before we get out of here, I'd like to also wish a few of my friends Ramadan Kareem. First goes to the one and only the Honorable Member of Parliament for
Gambaga,
Nalerugu Gambaga constituency.
You are, we are sitting in front of
Nalerugu Gambaga constituency.
You wishes you
Nalerugu Gambaga constituency. Nalerugu Gambaga constituency. Alhaji Baba Seidu Isifu. I'm wishing you Mubarak. How do you say it again?
Ramadan
Mubarak.
What?
But also, I mean, you know, he lost his son. We buried his son.
No.
Oh, sorry.
And so Amma was in Nalerugu Gambaga, I think last weekend.
Oh, sorry.
But I know that this Ramadan is going to give him a lot of energy and strength to be able to carry on. So Alhaji Baba Seidu Isifu, even though you are mourning and you are grieving, I pray that this Ramadan will give you a reassurance that Allah will continue to be with you. Alhamdulillah. Alhaji Inusa Fuseni. Alhaji Inusa Fuseni. Alhaji Inusa Fuseni.
Which my regional secretary?
You mean the propagandist?
Salam of
Alhaji Inusa Fuseni. No. Don't do that.
Salam. Ashanti region.
Yeah.
My able secretary.
Propagandist.
Alhaji Kasule. Alhaji Kasule. Good morning to you, sir.
Kasule.
Alhaji ABA Fuseni.
Why?
The Titan.
Alhaji ABA Fuseni.
Propagandist.
You are mentioning only NDC people. Please.
Alhaji Schools. Alhaji Schools. Alhaji Schools.
All this NDC.
Alhaji Haruna, former MCD, Abelenpe. Alhaji Apusiga, CEO of Kulungana Limited. Alhaji Rajiv,
Hey, you forgot
CEO RMP Oil.
Buffer stock. You forgot him.
Alhaji Hanan Abdul Basid Hanan, CEO of Buffer Stock, and your special aid Basid. Good morning to you, Basid, as well. And Suhini, yeah. And Mujib.
That was my son.
Mujib Rahman, good morning to you, and Ramadan Karim to
And
you as
all
well. And
Muslim
all our Muslim
All
brothers
of them.
and sisters who are in the country and without the country, watching us in Dubai, watching us in wherever. We wish you all the best. And everywhere, I say wherever. Hey,
You know,
in Kuwait, everywhere.
Kwame, this weekend,
Yes.
we buried our former deputy national mines organizer, Rosemary Yasantua Enim.
Okay.
She's a very good friend of Uncle Pratt.
Oh, wow.
He couldn't make it because he was outside Accra.
Accra, yes.
We buried her in Achimota.
Okay.
And let me tell you, the Nima community were there in their numbers. So on behalf of Ama, Baby, Ofayao, and Dada, I want to thank the Nima community for the show of love that they extended to the family of Rosemary Enim, who was my very good friend.
Thank you. And finally, he's not a Muslim, but let me say a special good morning to him. Honorable Dr. Robert Kugagnablem, former MP for Penduri. We are coming for that seat again. Trust me. We are coming for that seat in 2024.
Which people are coming for it?
Me and him. We are going back for the seat of because that seat you should. I'm still in shock how you lost that seat. But don't worry, because I was not part of the campaign. This time around, I am fully in charge of your campaign.
You're supposed to be a journalist, not a politician.
No, I'm campaigning. Oh no! As I watching, for instance, I campaigned for him. I campaigned for all my friends.
You know what Asansiboans used to also do, apart from just thinking about the housing, it's also halting the unmitigated dissipation of agricultural lands.
I agree with you. I know them know your dream.
That one there is serious.
Everywhere is not becoming an estate.
Yes.
So all the estate will be there. People staying in. What would they
I agree. 100%.
Chinese are buying the lands.
100%. I think you should, if you can,
From our villages.
if you can just issue a statement. And let me have it. I will.
I've issued a statement, so you are the journalist. Work on it.
No, you've not issued a statement. So issue a statement and sign on your letterhead from the office of ambassadors and PLA.
It's so dangerous.
And then I will.
Ambassador to India.
Some ambassadors. I think you should push it. Don't you think so too? All the lands are being given. Pardon?
Between Accra and
that all the land.
Oh, most of the land, Saka. Stop being propaganda.
We still have our land owned.
Oh, my friend.
I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
All the land.
Every day he looks after his brother and chases a bus. Every day he looks after his brother, chases a bus, and learns new things. Every day he looks after his brother, chases a bus, learns new things, and gets back home. Every day he looks after his brother, chases a bus, learns new things, gets back home, and helps his mom. Phew. That's why every day he needs his cup of Milo filled with the nutritious goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa. Milo, the energy to go further.
From Nestle.
This advert is FDA approved.
Hello? Okay, why? My wife comes and send a message. Hello? What's happened?
It's a chunk who be a quiet say what? I dare say,
Besides, friend, I'm so here. My wife is not testing messages here. And my office is so I'm trying to tell you, she says, I
mean, so we a guy man, and may young who could look ra. And also wants a family drilling company limited for Kana.
what's it name? Family Dwelling Company Limited.
Ye two borehole, biofuel, biogas, swimming pool, plumbing works in Danso, ye be, Frey 0240 333 111 and now says 0244 144 822.
Me and Pa and you want swimming pool on me see? Me want to will be here. Family dwelling I want family dwelling. Me out
Oh, it's incredible! Bang on target!
Truly African.
Welcome to the couch. My name is Amma Flat. Now, over the last few days, we have all of us in Ghana have been involved in one big debate, the hair debate. Normally when you hear the hair debate, it's normally about something else. To be honest, I like this hair debate because there's so much talk about, I tend sometimes to be a bit non-conformist, and so anything that seems to want to challenge the status quo, I like. And so I like where this is going. I like, all the angles it's taking. If for nothing at all, I think that we'll come out of this better informed, and perhaps we'll have some finality, to some of these issues that have raged on for years and years and years. This is not an issue of today. It's always been an issue. This hair issue and the link between hair and education, and perhaps the most important question, if it's a prerequisite for education. This is our conversation tonight. I have with me in the studio special guests, who I know are very able and capable to have a meaningful debate, because this is what this is going to be, a nice debate. I have with me in the studio Mr. Kofi Kakraba Pratt. He happens to be the Executive Director of Governance and Public. I'll take that again. He is the Executive Director of World Africa Rights Nexus, right? He's the Executive Director of World Africa Rights Nexus. He is a governance and public policy analyst. Good evening, Mr. Pratt.
Good evening.
It's great to have you.
I'm happy to be here. Happy to be here.
Always great to have you in the studio. I have with me also seated in the studio Ahoma Bosco Okanse. He happens to be president of the Rastafari Council of Ghana. Hello, sir.
Hi.
You're welcome.
My pleasure.
It's nice to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you. Also, with us in the studio is the parents, the father of Oheneba Kweku Nkrabea, you know, one of the 2 students who have been affected in all of this saga. He happens to be Ras Oswald Nkrabea. Hello, sir.
Yes, greetings.
Always a delight.
Oh, give thanks. Thank you very much. Likewise.
Always.
Give
Right.
thanks.
So let me quickly state that, you know, the panel here, some I'm a little too familiar with. let me quickly issue my caveat that I'm very familiar with. It's only Mr. Okanse that I'm meeting for the first time, but Ras Oswald is a comrade. You know, we go like this. You know, he's part of the family. And Mr. Pratt is literally part of the family. He is the family. So very interesting. And let me also state immediately that the views are very different. Very different views. So it's going to be very interesting. Right. Let's start from the top because I want to understand exactly what happened. Okay. What is the school's position when you took, and I'm starting with you, Ras Oswald, when you took Oheneba Kweku Nkrabea to the school, what happened?
Okay. When we were told that it's time for us to actually go through the processing of the documents of the school, we took him there